It was the president who went to get him. And the president has now confirmed that. Then there's this battle over the Supreme Court. There are a lot of claims and counterclaims. I don't know what is true, but take your nation, look at it, read that story. You might be able to get a couple of things happening. I have a rough idea of what's happening, but until it is confirmed, it's just an allegation. Then shillings 10 billion roads kitty standoff hurting county staff and traders. And then Nyoro ousted as from BAC budget committee in purge of Gachagua allies. Now, this was pretty interesting. It was a very funny yet very telling attack on Ndindi Nyoro. Now, I come from his constituency, and I can tell you something for sure, that the guy has worked miracles on the ground. I mean, the schools are done beautifully. The students eat lunch, porridge. I mean, they're taken care of. And he has done an absolutely beautiful work in that constituency using the NGCDF. Now, yesterday during his ouster, you had the majority leader and the minority leader in the National Assembly tearing into Ndindi Nyoro, saying that he had diverted money from the exchequer and had taken it to his constituency. I don't even know what to say. If he has done that, take him to court. If he has done that, then look at what he has done using the NGCDF. He has done a job to a point where you have, by the way, the control of budget has not raised this issue, saying that this guy stole money. And then the Auditor General has not raised issues, claiming that this guy has stolen money and has used it for this. So he has done an absolutely amazing job to a point whereby members of parliament themselves go there for benchmarking. That's how good a job he has done. But anyway, he's been chucked out now. He can concentrate on doing what he does best. Senators accuse Mbadi of treating the Senate like a village barasa. It's so funny how when shoes change. And then there's this story of this lady who was found is allegedly selling drugs, and she, in Vietnam that is, and she's been sentenced to death. And those guys don't, their death sentence is like Kenya's death sentence, which is commuted to life. There, you're hung. They kill you. And now the mother is calling on the government to intervene. And they're asking, she's saying that she has to see her daughter before the execution. She was found allegedly with 2 kilograms of cocaine. She was transporting it at the airport in Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. Then from dream job to nightmare, death of content moderator. The back page of the Nation has why varsities or universities are in dire need of 6.5 billion extra cash. Then budget cuts hit cash transfers to elderly, vulnerable children. The Standard, dishonorable. Then you have the picture of the leader of majority and the leader of minority. That is Ishungwa and Junet respectively. Basically doing what I was telling you, expressing their disgust as they kicked out, Ndindi Nyoro from the budget committee. It says members of parliament led by the majority and minority leaders went for the jugular of the former leadership of the budget committee under the pretext of discussing biased budgetary allocation. They accused the previous chair, Ndindi Nyoro, of directing 2 billion shillings from the Public Participation Fund to his constituency, giving him an unfair advantage over his colleagues in terms of development. The discussion took place without a formal motion to address Nyoro, as the speaker watched and guided the debate. Nyipigeni kelele tu. You know, the people on the ground are watching, and it's what you've done that is going to get you through. Governors fault Treasury for not filling gaps, for not filling gaps left in health sector. Court backs farm after firing staff over unpaid loan. A court in Nairobi has backed the sacking of a university employee who inflated his SACCO shares to get a loan. Oh, Kengei. Court warns woman to keep off daughter in forced marriage row. High Court has blocked a mother from meddling with the life of her daughter in a row over alleged forced marriage plot. Forced marriage is that the daughter is over 18. Interesting. Then you got Raila men snap up House Committee jobs. Okay. Why Muturi's party wants to leave Kenya Kwanza. Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justine Muturi has pulled yet another surprise move, seeking to divorce his Democratic Party from the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition. I mean, this relationship is dead. Is dead. MPs give themselves 7 billion shillings more / health budget. Let that simmer. Allow that to sink in. Members of parliament have given themselves an extra 7 billion shillings. Right? Now, let me paint the picture right now. They are saying there's no money. They are saying the economy is not doing well. But they've given themselves an extra 7 billion shillings. And guess what? They have slashed the health budget. So your health care has been slashed, yet MPs have given themselves an extra 7 billion shillings. Wacha hiyo isime. Unajua vile chakula alafu unaifunikia hivi ndio wako kastim karais kakirudi ndani ya chakula. Let it simmer. EPRA's new price policy fuels pain of consumers. The regulator will increase margins for oil marketing companies and transporters. Now, super petrol will go up by 7 shillings per litre. Diesel 7 shillings and kerosene 7 shillings. Meshika hiyo. As fuel prices go up, MPs have increased themselves 7 billion shillings. Kenya put to task over camaraderie with RSF leaders in restless Sudan. PS pledges to rebuild public trust in police. Good luck. Standard, the back page. Cash-strapped Manchester United. Cash-strapped Manchester United turn to Europa League as savior for poor season. Aish, Manchester United don't have money? Aye. That is serious. Then the Star newspaper, Muturi's DP, Democratic Party quits KK as Ruto plans to storm Central. Okay. And then in the Star newspaper, you have a picture of some of the guys who've been kicked out of the House committees because of aligning themselves to the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the ones who've come in. So you have the Bernard Shinali, then you have Irene Mayaka, Samuel Atandi, James Nyikal, Eric Karemba. These are the guys who've come in, and they've replaced Ndindi Nyoro, James Gakuya, Robert Pukose, Wanjiko Mohia, and Gathoni Wamoshoba. And then this is in the Star, Dutch rapist dies of cancer while awaiting extradition. The 66-year-old fled to Kenya after conviction for defiling minors aged 12 and 16. I really hope that he made his ways right with the Lord, because if he didn't, well, things are not. He may have taken off from justice, but probably justice caught up with him. But the most important thing is just making it right with God. Because irrespective of what you've done, Christ will forgive you. That's the most amazing thing about him. Muturi Party exits. And then you got Kitui County Investors Forum, yada, yada, yada. And then at the back, the Star newspaper, Lewa Marathon is back after 1 year, lands 25 million shillings deal. Then Pamzo cautions. Posta Ranger put Tusker on notice ahead of tomorrow's clash at Dandora Stadium. So that's basically what we got in the dailies. We'll be looking at some of the stories that made headlines yesterday. Quite a number of things, including the Clinical Officers Union officially calling off its 23-day strike and urging its members to resume work within the next 24 hours. We'll be looking at that. I'm glad that they've decided to do that. They've decided to basically call off the strike. And after calling off the strike, they resume work within 24 hours. This follows the successful signing of a return to work agreement during an event at the Ministry of Health, attended by both ministry and county government officials. The main issue at the heart of the industrial action, which involved empaneling of member institutions under the Social Health Authority, has been resolved. According to the union officials, this agreement must take effect immediately to address the concerns of their members.
Having agreed and executed this agreement, the union has made decision to call off the strike, and our members are advised to resume duty immediately and not later than the next 24 hours. We do not celebrate when we obliterate laws or change direction in terms of what we desire. But also, on the specific matter of the social health insurance, where we have been seeking for pre-authorization and empanelment, as the law stipulates, we must say it has taken 6 months for us to be here, and we know that the people who are suffering are Kenyan. And of course, the desire is to ensure that we increase accessibility. So we are the majority clinician who offer services to Kenyan. Every time we are not functioning properly or well engaged, so there will be a lot of noise. That we have been here so long, where we sign agreement and they are never implemented. The same issue of SHA, last month we agreed, And someone somewhere sat on the agreement and decided not to implement, subjecting the Kenyan to 23 days of suffering when we are on strike. That should not happen. And we encourage that we must be able to follow the law.
But I'm happy today that we have agreed, and I think the patients can breathe a sigh of relief, because now that means that once affected, where we work as clinical officers, the procedures that we do render, we will be able to render to Kenyans, and so Kenyans are the biggest beneficiaries. So we have agreed that with the Social Health Authority, that the facilities will be empaneled and contracted, and we as the practitioners will be given our pre-authorization rights following empanelment, which is supposed to happen immediately.
My ministry remains open to ensuring that the needs of both healthcare workers and the public are met and or addressed in a timely manner. I reaffirm my commitment to the public to ensure that quality, affordable and accessible healthcare services reach all individuals in line with the government's pledge to leave no one behind.
Now, you know, these clinical officers and their stories, all they wanted to be included is in the board of the SHA and the SHIF thing. And you know, there are many allowances that are given there. So it's not necessarily to the benefit of the people. Okay, people will benefit when they go back to work. But it's basically for their benefits. And most of these guys would give anything to be in those positions. Elsewhere, the Ministry of Health has confirmed that the mysterious disease that has caused alarm in Kisii County is still active, with 11 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni assured the public that the ministry is working closely with the Kisii County government to contain the outbreak. As part of the response effort, the ministry has begun distributing aqua tablets to purify drinking water and is promoting breast hygiene practices among the affected communities. In addition, the Ministry of Health has announced plans to initiate a deworming program for school-going pupils to curb the spread of the disease.
At least in the last 24 hours, we have seen 11 new cases that were reported, bringing to a total number of confirmed cases to 168. The outbreak has primarily affected 8 villages, with Amarondo village accounting to 64% of the reported cases. Preliminary laboratory investigations have confirmed contamination of water sources, which is a significant contributor to the outbreak and hence making the water unsafe for consumption. There is therefore need for urgent interventions to ensure that the water is safe for consumption. And to mitigate further spread of the water treatment, water treatment is rolled out, including distribution of 44,350 aqua tabs to the affected households to improve water safety. Community engagement remains a critical pillar of the response. Community sensitization, again, efforts are underway, with CHPs conducting door-to-door sensitization to educate the residents on water treatment and sanitation, poor hygiene practices, and safe water treatment methods. Additionally, mass deworming exercises are planned for school-going children to prevent further health complications.
All right. Basically, I hope you know how that disease started. What they discovered, there's a particular well that, you know, majority of the people who fell sick had taken water from. And then when they did their research, they found that some dude had, you know, had thrown human feces into the well. Can you imagine? I mean, they found that some guy had just helped himself inside the well. Makaratas. President William Ruto has called for greater collaboration and unity among Kenyans and leaders to achieve sustainable national development. The president made this appeal while launching various development projects in the Dagoretti South constituency in Nairobi County. And during his visit, which marked his third day in Nairobi, the president officially inaugurated the construction of the modern Riruta market, a project that is said to cost 350 million. He also laid the foundation stone for the Dagoretti Jitume Excellence Center, a facility aimed at enhancing service delivery in the area. In his address, the president underscored the importance of collective efforts in fostering progress, emphasizing that collaboration between leaders and citizens is key to achieving developmental goals across the nation.
Wakati wa campaign, moja ya ile mambo muhimu wafanyabiashara walituambia ni kwamba wale ambao ni wafanyabiashara wadogo wadogo, wakiwemo mama mboga na wafanyabiashara wadogo, wanahitaji mahali safi na mahali pazuri fa kufanyia biashara yao, na ndio umeona hiyo soko imeanza kujengwa. Vile vile kama rais amesema, tuko hapa pia kwa mambo ya shule, mambo ya barabara na mambo mengi ya kimaendeleo. Je, mnaunga rais mkono aendelee na mambo ya maendeleo? Mnaunga rais mkono aendelee na mambo ya maendeleo? Jambo la mwisho, kwa sababu viongozi ni wengi na rais ako na shughuli nyingi, jambo la mwisho, tungetaka nchi yetu tuwe na uzalendo na tuwe na umoja, na sasa hivi ni wakati wa kujenga taifa letu na mshikamano wa jamii zote za Jamhuri ya Kenya ili tuwe taifa ambalo liko na nguvu. Kwa hivyo
leo tumekuja pia kuanzisha ICT hapa. Hii ICT hub, wewe bwana KJ, ikimalizika in the next 4 months, mimi naleta kompyuta 200 hapa, vijana hawa wajipange na ajira ya digital jobs. Hapa pia tunaleta waalimu wa kuwafundisha hawa vijana. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie, kama ni kazi majuu, kama ni kazi mitandaoni, kama ni kazi katika ile kazi yote tunafanya ya affordable housing na zile zingine zote, huko ndio tutapanga ajira ya vijana, vijana wajisimamie, wajenge taifa letu na tusonge mbele kwa pamoja. Pia mimi nimekuja hapa leo kwa sababu ya soko yenu ya Riruta. Hapa mjumbe wenu Kiogora alikuja akaniuliza kama tunaweza kujenga soko hapo Riruta. Na leo tumekuja kuanzisha soko ya shilingi milioni 350 ya kutosha watu wa Riruta waweze kuendesha biashara yao. Na nimesema vile vile, mbali na kuongeza hiyo, mbali na kujenga hiyo soko, pia hapo tujenge affordable housing, manyumba 500 ya watu wa hapa Riruta, watu muweze kuishi mahali pazuri, mahali kuna heshima, tuweze kusonga mbele kwa pamoja.
Well, the president has been on a 3-day tour of Nairobi. And at the same time, he assured university students that the delayed Higher Education Loans Board funds or HELB will be disbursed by tomorrow. This promise comes after students expressed frustration over the late release of the funds, which are crucial for their education. Speaking during the launch of several development projects in Dagoretti South constituency, the president addressed the concerns, confirming that students will receive their loans by the end of this week. His visit to the area marked his 3rd day in Nairobi, where he also oversaw the commencement of the key local infrastructure initiatives. Elsewhere, Alego Usonga, Member of Parliament, a gentleman called Samuel Atandi, has strongly criticized former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over recent remarks claiming that the people of Mount Kenya are ready to support Azimio leader Raila Odinga in the 2027 elections. Atandi, who described Gachagua as a political conman, refuted the claims, pointing out that during the previous election cycle, the Mount Kenya region had rejected Raila Odinga, labeling him unelectable. Atandi, a senior member of the Orange Democratic Movement, stated that his party would not entertain such political tactics. He emphasized that ODM leaders are currently focused on supporting President William Ruto in ensuring the country's stability and prosperity. Atandi noted that the ODM will continue to play a key role in government, working alongside Ruto for the benefit of all.
I want to say that lately I have seen some leaders claiming that now they are ready to support Raila Amolo Odinga for presidency. There's a particular leader we impeached recently from the post of deputy president. I want to describe that man as behaving like a hyena. He is looking at Raila Odinga as a piece of meat that he should grab and eat. We want to tell him that when we wanted you to support us in the past, you never supported us. You said Raila Amolo Odinga is not electable, that Raila Odinga cannot be accepted by your people. Why are you now claiming that now you are ready to support Raila Amolo Odinga for president? That kind of political conmanship is what we do not want, and we are saying as ODM leaders that you will never sell us that kind of politics right now. Right now we are focused in the stability of the Republic of Kenya, and we are here to say that we are going to support William Ruto to ensure that the stability of Kenya is given prominence and that the country is stable for the benefit of all of us. ODM party is celebrating 20 years since its formation. And yesterday we had an elaborate function in Busia where we congregated to assess and to celebrate the years that ODM party has been around. Even though the party has not been able to claim the presidency, ODM remains one of the strongest parties in the country. It is the party that is found in all corners of this country. We are found in Nyeri, we are found in Tharaka-Nithi, we are found in Garissa, we are found in Mandera, all parts of the country. And ODM is strong because every time there's a political crisis in this country, it is ODM that is always requested to help in stabilizing the politics of the country. Like what is happening today, you know that there are attempts to destabilize the government of the Republic of Kenya, the government of William Ruto. And it is the ODM party that was requested to come in and assist and create stability in the country. That is a sacrosanct role that ODM continues to play to ensure that the country is stable and that the country does not does not collapse. So as ODM members of ODM party, we want to urge our leader Raila Amolo Odinga to continue making consultations towards ensuring that our government is stable and the country does not collapse. But I must also say that there is no political party that can work in isolation. All political parties must make friends with the others. ODM party has made friends in the past. Some are genuine friends, some are friends that are not realistic, some are opportunistic friends. I want to confess here in Siaya that the friendship that we have right now with the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto, in our view, is one of the most authentic and honest friendships that ODM party has had.
Now let's find out what's happening within the counties, and we switch our gear to Machakos County, where the finance CAM Onesmus Kuyu narrowly escaped impeachment following a day-long debate in the county assembly, where members were divided over whether to discipline him for alleged corruption and mismanagement. The contentious discussion led by the Budget Committee under the chairmanship of Speaker Ann Kiusia centered around several anomalies within Kuyu's docket. Muthwani Ward MCA Dominic Maitha led the charge, accusing Kuyu of embezzlement and corruption at various quarry sites in Mavoko sub-county. In a damning revelation, Maitha claimed that residents of Lukenya and Katani had reported incidents of individuals posing as county revenue officers collecting money from locals. These funds, according to Maitha, were being funneled into personal M-Pesa accounts, with the county losing nearly 2 million shillings daily.
Even the revenue collectors themselves, they are not supposed to take cash. So if our business, if it is our business and we don't take cash, who are these administrators? We've not, speaker after speaker, we are talking about administrators doing this, administrators are, this business must come to an end. Everybody has to take his or her own lane. I do not, I'm an appointee. The governor is very clear. She wants revenue, she's elected, you are also elected. So you suffer the same fate. So we are not going to have somebody stand between the knife and the cake. That one, take to the bank. I'll come to this house on other businesses, but not revenue. If it is issues of mass transfers, so be it. And I'm going to do them from my office. I need to put the record straight. Why the fuel had not been given from my ministry, it is because the Ministry of Roads had not surrendered. We cannot have people jumping up and down, escaping accountability. Yes, my officers are here, and we have evidence to that effect. It is one thing to say, in the absence of people. But what I'm saying, the department had not surrendered. The previous fuel. If you don't surrender, actually last year it was an audit issue. The way we are supposed to surrender fuel for roads is different from the way we are supposed to surrender fuel for other areas because it's development. The issue of agricultural, but when I look at the agricultural land, people, I don't know, collecting money from the toilet. Those are the rogue administrators are being told. Even they don't even know where to collect. They are so that one, Mheshimiwa, I'm going to read you next week. I'm going to charge the Machakos people. I'm going to sensitize them. We'll even resort to civil arrest. We are not going to have this sort of business again. When the governor took over, we had in excess of 3.2 billion worth of pending bills. But nobody has ever disclosed how much was the value of the stored project. And it came out the other day from the controller. So the burden that the governor is carrying is more than just the pending bills. Yes, 3.2 billion worth of pending bills, stored projects, where government funds are being injected, we have to get value for money, we have to inject more. And also KRA obligation. We had in excess of 2.6 billion worth of KRA obligation. And we did alternate dispute resolution. We settled on 285 million, all the way from 2.6 billion. Where I talked about mapping, because Matungulu, Katani, and Lukenya, they are very porous, because they also happen to be sand harvesting areas. So the first thing we are doing is remapping. The second thing we are doing, and I've talked about the enforcement officers, Madam Speaker, they were completely out of system. They were enforcing outside the system. And the way the system is supposed to work is first line of defense, the revenue officers who report to finance. Second point.
Well, we've now gotten used to that kind of thing. By the way, as we bring this down, there's a story that happened, I think it was the day before yesterday. There's such a sad story. And it shows that there are human beings who are not human beings. You know, they're so heartless. If you're wondering which story I'm talking about, it's about a young man who took one of the super metros, and actually the number plate has been put on social media. It's a KDL 125N. Now, this guy had 50 shillings. Normally, the matatus during that day, they were charging 80 shillings. He only had 50 shillings. So when the tout came to ask for money, he told him, I only have 50 shillings. And according to some stories, the guy told the tout that then drop me where the 50 shillings in Afika, and then I'll walk the rest of the way. But the tout, believing that he is one of those guys who are untouchables, you know, felt so slighted. And as the matatu was going very, very fast at Kahawa, Wendani, around that place, the matatu tout opened the door of the matatu and literally threw that young man out of the vehicle, a speeding matatu, and the guy died. He had broken ribs, broken legs, broken hands, and obviously injuries everywhere else. I think this is not the first time that touts have done that, and we've not had cases where, you know, these people were charged with murder and they were sentenced to hang and probably hanged. But if you have the guts to take another human being, throw him out of a speeding vehicle because of 30 shillings, you don't deserve to live. That's my judgment. As in, if you can take the life of another person like that, oh, you should face the full force of the law. Because now, because of 30 shillings, I'm very sure in that matatu, if somebody would have even, you know, offered to pay that 30 shillings. You take the life of a person because of 30 shillings and in such a way, what level of impunity is that? Up to now, we don't know whether the guy has been arrested, but I hope he's arrested and his picture is put out in the newspapers, and we'll definitely put up his face once we get it on TV so that you can see the man who thinks 30 shillings is more important than the life of a human being. Now, I keep on saying this. Every time I see somebody dying, I think eternally. I think about, had this man made things right with God, that kind of thing. Every time I think like that. So, you've sent somebody into eternity because of 30 shillings. 30 bob. May the Lord forgive you, for real. As you ponder about that, today as you meet different people, show love. There are people who are going through all kinds of things. You'll never know. You never know. Show love, show kindness. Let the light of Christ shine through you. Let them see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Because we were sent to this world as answers to the problems that this world is facing. We can show people love, we can show people kindness. And you never know. You do that, and you just never know how far that goes. Right? Do have yourself a lovely morning. Remember, at 9, we have Your Faith with Reverend Felix Kevoy. Today, Baton King is still around. Some great worship music, so you don't want to miss that. And then when we get to 2 p.m., we have Manukato with Teddy and DJ Shaw doing their things. They'll be interviewing artists and pastors on the walk of faith. All right? Do have yourself a lovely morning.